introduce somebody who back in the 1960s was drafted. He was drafted to fight in Vietnam, and he said, hell no, I refuse to go and kill the Vietnamese people. Instead, he spent 2 years, seriously, 2 years in military prison, refusing to fight and die for the U.S. empire. His name is Carl Dix. He came out of prison. He became a founding member of the Revolutionary Communist Party. He is a fighter for the new communism brought forward by Bob Avakian. And I want you to give some love and listen up to Carl Dix.
All right. I want to thank Sansar for that introduction. And you are where you need to be today. You're where you need to be today because this regime must be driven out. I mean, what can you say about a regime that rips children from their mother's arms? That it is no damn good, it is an insult to humanity, and it must be stopped. But we gotta go deeper than that, because this ain't the first time America has ripped children from their mother's arms. America was founded on ripping children from their mother's arms. Slavery, the auction blocks. They ripped children from their mother's arms, sold them to one plantation owner, sold a mother to another.
Straight up.
They did the same thing to the native inhabitants, stealing their children, putting them in what they call border schools, trying to make them lose their culture and traditions. And today, America is backing to the hilt, bombing raids in Yemen that have 5 million people, including 2 million children, on the edge of starvation. This is a country and a system that has built its wealth and power on that kind of inhumanity to young people in this country and around the world. Now, we got to stop this regime. We got to drive it out. And Andy talked about how to do that. It ain't going to be no midterm elections. That ain't what you can rely on, because the Democrats got no answer for this. It is us, people like us, taking to the streets in massive numbers with one demand: this Trump-Pence regime must go. This is what needs to happen. And we in the Revolutionary Communist Party are all the way down with that. We're throwing our heart and soul into it. But we are not doing this in order to get back to the way America was before Trump. Because none of these horrors that he's intensifying began with him. And just getting rid of him won't end these horrors. The truth is, it's going to take an actual revolution to end these horrors once and for all. A revolution, if we can't do it right now, it ain't time for revolution yet. But when the time comes, we got to be ready to lead millions of people in rising up and overthrowing this system, meeting and defeating its institutions of violent suppression, and going on to build a totally different and far better system. And we can do this, sisters and brothers. We have the leadership for it in Bob Avakian, the leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party, and we have a plan for it, a battle plan for it in how we can win, how we can really make revolution. Get a copy of this battle plan. And look, we revolutionaries are here for this whole fight, all the way down to drive out the Trump-Pence regime. And we let you know we are going forward off of doing that to make revolution and get rid of this system once and for all. I call on everybody here to check out this revolution, to check out what it's about, to look at its battle plan, to look at the vision of a new society that its leader, Bob Avakian, has done in the Constitution for a future socialist republic in North America. And I also call on you to go as far as your principles allow you. Don't go halfway. Don't protest a little bit. Don't go out in the streets a little bit and then go back to your life. Because if you can adjust your life to a fascist regime, you have begun to give away your humanity. And sisters and brothers, you do not want to become the kind of person that can find room for themselves in a fascist regime. That is what drove me to refuse to go to Vietnam. I could not find room. You know, they was telling me, go over there. You don't have to kill nobody. Just lay in the background. Just hook up our messages. Because I was in the Signal Corps. I dealt with communications. They said, just help us communicate. And I'm like, well, what y'all be communicating about? You be communicating about murdering people, mass murder. So if you can find a place for yourself in a fascist regime, you're becoming the kind of person you don't want to be. Your humanity demands that you're a part of, you throw in to drive out this Trump-Pence regime. That's what's got to be driving you. And for me, my humanity demanded that I become part of the revolution, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Now I want to briefly bring up some young folks who are going to lay something out about how you can get enlisted in this revolution.
This is, oops, I pulled out the mic while it's getting put back in. This is Federico and Luan from the New York City Revolution Club.
Don't step up, you gotta step down.
Yeah. All right, so there's an open invitation out here right now. So if what you just heard from this revolutionary brother just spoke to you, then you need to be in the house tomorrow at Revolution Books, 4 p.m. It's uptown, 132nd Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. We're going to be having an hour of revolution where we're getting into this, getting into what is the strategy, where you can hear clips from the leader of this revolution. And look, we are serious when we say revolution, and we are actively organizing for a time when we can make that happen, and that's how we can win is that he had in his hand. And look, we want to bring this message in to the people of New York so they know that there is an active movement building for a real revolution to put an end to a system that would do this to the mass of people. And we're calling on people, if you want to carry these signs, I'd say stop the demonization of immigrants and the militarization of the border. Stop the wars for empire. Stop capitalism and imperialism from destroying our planet. You can come up and carry these with us. But yeah, this is a short invitation. Tomorrow, remember it's tomorrow, 4 p.m. at Revolution Books, 132nd and Malcolm X Boulevard.